Hello. Welcome to Off the Cuff. I listen to that and I read everybody in the chat. And I wish I could jump in there with you, but then I won't be ready for the show. So that doesn't really work. And yes, Joe Dingle is our drummer. Yep. Yes, we have the best worship team. We absolutely do. Put together by the Almighty. So again, welcome to Off the Cuff. Today's double-decker Delora Day. And so that means you got me now and you got me tonight. Now, if you don't like me much, then it's not such a great day. But if you like me, then you can watch me tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern, right here on Rumble. And someone said in the chat, and yes, they're right. Right after this Rumble, this gets put up. Jenna does it for me. She puts it up on YouTube. So it will be up on YouTube as well. Speaking of Jenna, as you know, she's my daughter. And so you guys probably don't know, not this Friday, but next Friday after Fab 4, we are doing a tea for two. So I do my little dance. I get very excited about those. Those are fun. Thank you, 8001. Thank you so much. And today I got a couple of things I want to show you that is from the store that Jenna put up. So allows us to do the gatherings. It definitely goes toward a bunch of it. We are working on one right now, a national one. Our first national gathering. Ask everyone to come in. It's going to be a very special day and a very special place. But we did not secure everything yet, so I can't say it. And I'm one of those people that spills the beans, so I got to stop talking. Okay, so joyandcountry.com. This is awesome. Look at this. USA, land of the free, home of common sense. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love this. I'm wearing the V-neck, also comes in crew neck. It's really awesome. I started laughing when I saw it. Land of the free, home of common sense. And then, of course, it's a grace upon grace, stainless steel. This is all stainless steel stuff. This stuff doesn't tarnish or anything. This is a cross necklace. It's got like about this long in the back, so you can make it like down to here, or you can bring it up to there. So it really works well. And then the cross charm, natural stone, stretchy brace. These are all stones. It's got a little bit of weight to it, and then it's got an engraved cross. You got to go look. It's hard to see it. You got to go look at these guys in joyandcountry.com. All the descriptions below. But this is what I wanted to show you guys from the other day. Now, they've got, if you go look, there are some that say Gulf of America. Then there's bigger ones that are, a bigger tumbler that says Jesus all over it in different scriptures. But this is what we got now. Look, protected. Now, let me tell you, these are not Jungola. You know us. We do something. We do it right. These are handcrafted. This is not stickers. This is stainless steel, inside and out, very high quality. This is all laser engraved. Look at, just a couple of them I wanted to show you. God's got this. There's a bunch of them. And the ones that are more intricate with the engraving can take several hours to engrave. So you understand, okay? We have more, Jenna said we have more designs and colors available on the website. They are a pre-order. They're custom created for you, okay? So say you love this, but you want it on blue, then you can custom create it, okay? All of these things, the home of common sense, they're all linked in the description. And you could also find them on joyandcountry.com in Delora's Closet. And Jenna said, updates. We have a Saturday Steel discount on the website that starts today. You can get 10% off your order until mañana, Saturday at midnight, using code Saturday. You need a code now. Okay. You need a code. So the people that watch this are going to get 10% off. So you get 10% off your entire order until tomorrow night. The discount also applies to the items already on clearance. And then never forget, free US shipping, always, always, always. And next Friday after Fab 4, we will be having a tea for two. Here, YouTube, everywhere, or B Square. Okay. Let's get into this. Now, why did I do this? This is a very interesting thing. I was talking to Jenna this morning. We were going back and forth, texting. And I was showing her something about JFK. I'm going to show it tonight on Fab 4. It brought tears to my eyes. And she said to me, Mom, it doesn't have the same effect for me. And she said, the reason that is because you have spent most of your life giving people truth and trying to explain to them. You've taken a lot of hits for it. People, and when we were on staff in the church in New York, I mean, I was like the nut job, and so I've been through so much in, oh God, probably 35 years that seeing something in these things that are finally coming to pass makes me verklempt. You know what I mean? It really gets to me. And so I was thinking about that, and we were talking a little bit yesterday, and I started thinking about all of the operations that have happened, that done by our government, or mostly the CIA, other three-letter agencies, and all these activities that they've been involved in. And most of them were directly against us as Americans. I mean, there was human experimentation and spying, surveillance, all in the name of saying that it was for us, but it was really just to keep them in power, making money and controlling the masses, us to be enslaved. It's the ultimate material for a good novel. Keep telling Dennis, I'm going to write a screenplay about all this. I really am. I wish I had time. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, is to write scripts. Many have been written about it. I mean, I don't have to add my 2 cents, except I have experiences that others have not had. I have experiences in Hollywood, and I have experiences with the medical community that a lot of other people have not gone through. But when I think of that, I think of all the operations. Many of these you'll hear, of. Some of these you don't. You probably never heard of them. And there are hundreds upon hundreds more, maybe thousands of things that you've never heard of. Maybe we'll touch on it today. Maybe we won't. But let me break down some of what has been used against us. Again, some of these are obvious, but what I'm going to do is explain to you, like I do, instead of just hearing the word and everybody just thinks what they want. Let me explain to you about what this stuff is. So, top of the list with human experimentation for me is MK Ultra. Now, in 2015 and 2016, when things like QAnon came out and different people started coming forward, Joe M, at that time, and I could say a lot of people, you guys probably wouldn't even know who they were, because they had to go dark when things changed, and because their job wasn't to be online. They had a greater job, but the job was to wake people up, and then they had to go do what they had to do. Many of my friends and even in my family believe that this is the height of conspiracy theories, except it's now common knowledge. And if you go to Google or one of the other browsers and you put in MK Ultra, even AI will give you a whole dissertation about it and what it is and a history. So what is MK Ultra? This was and still is although few will admit it. They used LSD, electroshock, dangerous methods of interrogation, and mind control techniques. It was used to coerce people to do what the deep state, cabal, those in charge, whatever you want to call them. I call them evil. Anything that takes away a person's freedom and the person not willingly want to do something and you force that upon them, that is pure evil to me. So many people don't realize it, but many institutions and universities and prisons use this on people that didn't have any idea of what was happening to them. RFK Jr. posted last year that new documents show that CIA's MK Ultra program targeted indigenous and Black children from areas where they're from, maybe a one-parent family, or people that didn't have any, from orphanages and different things like that. And they use them to test medical torture experiments. So what is it basically? Basically, they use psychotropic drugs that will expand your mind to influence a person's mind and brainwash them. It was, and possibly still is, a CIA operation. They basically take people and turn them into machines. Now you understand why when you hear of a school shooting, or people try to say, oh, that didn't happen. No, yeah, a lot of them did. I tell people all the time, don't tell me Sandy Hook didn't happen. My brother had a good friend whose daughter died at Sandy Hook, and he went to the funeral. I mean, he knows these people most of his life. It happened. But why did it happen? Why did a good kid suddenly turn bad? Why did someone that everybody said, I knew him from the neighborhood, what a wonderful young man, comes from a wonderful family, and suddenly becomes a killer and shoots up a school? So let's go. I'm going to hit a lot of these real quick, okay? Operation Chaos. What is Operation Chaos? A lot of you, I bet, never heard of it. It's something much less known, although it affects us every single day. But I think there's a little bit older, but this is a former CIA agent, and he pretty much explains it better than I ever could.
And does the CIA manipulate the media in this way, plant stories, get their views in the media? Is this fairly common as a modus operandi for the CIA?
It goes beyond in the course of the past 30 years, it goes beyond your wildest imagination, the extent to which the CIA has gone to manipulate public opinion. If you include the MH Chaos program, which was $1 billion program of setting up proprietary companies, setting up student organizations so they could draw radical students in and do every kind of duplicitous manipulation of national student movements, press, propaganda, labor, extensive formation of labor unions, funding of major labor unions, with the objective essentially of manipulating the mind and attitudes of workers throughout the nation.
Okay, now that's very long, but that'll give you a little idea of Operation Chaos. It started in the 60s and 70s when Berkeley and other places, Students for a Democratic Society, and all these things, and then Black Lives Matter, all of these that people are saying, oh no, they're good, they're trying to get people, unions. Yeah, I get it. Red Bronze, she said unions stink. Here's the issue: the basis of the unions was good. Okay, it was good. Why did unions come about? Unions came about because children were working and being forced to work 12, 14 hours a day. That's why they came about. Yes, I agree. Yeah, at first, yes. So what did they do? Operation Chaos got a hold of them. You understand? All these things you see that took apart Seattle, that's Operation Chaos. That's what that happened. Okay, so let me go on. Another operation is a whole government attempting to radicalize the U.S. military against the U.S. population. A lot of people don't realize that. This has been going on, especially the last 4 years, but really began in 2008 when Barack Obama came in. The CIA came about, started Operation Condor throughout Latin America. It was Operation Phoenix in Vietnam that the British set up, first tested in Malaysia. They test all kinds of things. This is what was done in Operation Gladio. You're seeing all NATO countries and NATO aligned countries stick to that. We're going to look all this stuff up. NATO is a cancer, okay? It's a cancer. Same with the CIA. They need to be cut out, or they need to be completely whitewashed, like Kash Patel is going to do with the FBI. During the past decade, they tried to radicalize the military and police officers to regard anyone. Look at a lot of the military. The Washington D.C. police officers. They got completely sucked into that whole thing. Because they teach them to regard anyone who doesn't fall in step with the government as a domestic terrorist, just like you see on mainstream media. MAGA people, Maxine Walters. You see these people and you put them down, you take them out, you don't wait on them in restaurants. Listen, that woman is a terrorist. Are you kidding? You're calling us domestic terrorists. Anyone who calls for someone to kill someone else should be a terrorist. Now, are there others? They're all over the government. Schiff calling for people to do things like that, all over the place. But if we believe in America first, we're the terrorists. This is a deep state operation. I'm going to read you something that was sent out by the FBI and Department of Homeland Security. Domestic terrorism is not a new threat to the United States, yet it is a threat Americans have endured too often in recent years. The Department of Defense now has a strategy and policy and programs to share domestic terrorism-related information, to prevent domestic terrorism recruitment, to disrupt domestic terrorism activity, and confront long-term contributors to domestic terrorism. This approach will protect both the nation and civil liberties of its citizens. So, like with most of the J6ers, most of them were not inside in creating havoc, and some of them got caught up in it. Others, were the ones that protected people. That most of them were there to peacefully protest, and people that will be, and it will be revealed, the people that were behind this, they planted people there. That is an operation. That's an operation that they did to keep totalitarianism in this country. If you're a MAGA American, you're considered a domestic terrorist. Project Shamrock. Most never heard of it. It's an NSA program that intercepted and copied telegraph communications between the United States and other countries. It was originally intended to improve wartime intelligence. It always had such a good beginning. But the problem is, like income tax was supposed to be just to help during the war and the Civil War, it continued after the war was over. Started in the 40s. By the late 1970s, once that came around, the Justice Department looked into what was happening, and then it actually was a real Justice Department to a degree. Then in 1978, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, sound familiar? FISA, limited the powers of the NSA and put in place a judicial review. What had ultimately happened is that they started collecting information on U.S. citizens without a warrant. Look what happened to Donald Trump. Look what happened to people that work for him. That's been discontinued, it says. But has it? Project Shamrock pretty much was followed, very much like with Trump and with different people that they arrested. And they listened in on their calls and they tapped information so they could get information about what Trump was going to do during the campaign. Now, a very famous one, Operation Paperclip. In 2014, the New York Times actually reported on this, and this is what they said. This is a quote. In the decades after World War II, the CIA and other United States agencies employed at least 1,000 Nazis as Cold War spies and informants. And as listen to what I just said. New York Times, 2014. Listen again. Listen. Really, because if you don't really listen, what happens is this stuff becomes like nothing to you. You hear it and you're like, listen to what the New York Times wrote 11 years ago. In the decades after World War II, the CIA and other United States agencies employed at least 1,000 Nazis as Cold War spies and informants. And as recently as the 1990s, concealed the government's ties to some still living in America. Newly disclosed records show. That's the New York Times. It was a secret. United States intelligence program in which more than, who's over the intelligence program now? Now you understand? Now you understand why I said the top 3 and Tulsi was there? This stuff is the base. Look, Pam Bondi will bring stuff to light and everything, but this is the base. The intelligence community all across the world is the foundation of the operations that have gone on against American people. Operation Paperclip or Operation Overcast is how the military speaks of it, was a secret United States intelligence program. Intelligence in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, technicians were taken from over there, brought to the U.S., employed between 1945 and 1959. And newsflash, it was a heck of a lot longer than that. Several were confirmed to be former members of the SS over there. Many were sent to work in the space program. Operation there was not solely focused on rocketry. What else were they doing? Making synthetic fuels, working on different medicines, fields of research that would come out now. Wikipedia says, can you imagine? Operation Paperclip played a crucial role in the success of the Apollo missions to the moon. Wikipedia. People actually go to Wikipedia and think that they're getting. So let me explain to you what Wikipedia is. Wikipedia is anyone can write anything on any page they want, as long as they have one place that is public that can say that's true. I could go there. I could write what I want. Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods. Mimi Dance, you're right. I am preaching to the choir, but the choir are the people that need to share this on their social media pages. Look, if you're not doing that, you're doing a great disservice to our president, to me, and to everyone that fights on the front lines every single day. You need to be sharing these things. People you trust. If I'm the only one, great. If there's 10 others, praise the Lord. Share them. Share this. Operation Northwoods was a false flag operation that originated with the U.S. Department of Defense, obviously from the U.S. government in 1962. It called for CIA operatives to stage, and commit acts of terrorism. Let me say it again. Operation Northwoods. CIA operatives to stage and commit acts of terrorism against American military and civilian targets. And during that time, not this time, this is when it began, 1962, blame it on the Cuban government in order to justify a war against Cuba. Operation Northwoods was associated with, get a load of this name, Operation Dirty Trick, which was another false flag to blame Castro. They were going to crash a space flight while the public was watching it with a missile of our own near Cuba and then blame it on Castro. Did it happen? No. Why didn't it happen? Because President John F. Kennedy rejected the idea and started removing Joint Chiefs and others that were concocting these ideas. And some people wonder why he was assassinated. Can you imagine? Think about it. That's what he did. He was a forerunner to President Donald Trump. In the circles around DC, it said that Kennedy rejected all of this. And for that reason, they had to take him out. They saw he wasn't going to be the puppet. You got to understand, he was installed. But they found out he wasn't going to be the puppet they thought he would be initially. Look, I could go on and on and on. My off the cuff on Fridays are kind of shorter because of doing tonight. But the operations against Americans have been horrific. But probably the worst is Operation American Presidents. I actually don't know how far back the fix being in, but this is what I do know. I know it goes back at least to around the time of George Poppy Bush, probably before, more than likely. Someone on the inside of the whole hanging Chad fiasco in Florida told me in my own ears that they decided who the hanging Chads would be in favor of by a backroom coin toss. Bush won. Then along comes Barack Obama. Barack Obama was an intelligence operation. The Obamas were literally created. The incredible lawyers, Black family, 2 beautiful daughters. They were created by intelligence agencies and deep deep state globalist cabal to infiltrate the United States government and to destroy America from within. Very sad. To me, and believe me, this has nothing to do with color. This has nothing to do, I could care less if he was a Muslim. Has nothing to do with anything. That was the beginning of the sadness in the United States. It became very sad to live here. If you follow some of what is happening with that family, Michelle has been MIA. The children have changed their names, their last names, and distanced themselves as far away as possible from their parents, if they were really the biological parents to begin with. I don't know. A lot of people have all these stories that could be true. I have no proof of that, so I don't repeat them. It's very sad because there are no pictures of Michelle Obama pregnant with either child. Joan Rivers could have possibly lost her life with what she said on camera, that Michelle Obama was a transgender. She said, it's a transgender. We all know it. She said, we all know it. A week later, she was dead from a minor surgery in a doctor's office. Coincidence? Could be. But they were ushered in to begin transgenderism and push that ideology. So why would they do this? Why? What is it? I think what we all need to realize, and some people may not understand, is to these people, this is like a religion to them. This is like my beloved Jesus and Christianity to me, and I'm a believer. This is religion to them. That's what this is. Karmic retribution. They have to say it out somewhere. They have to show it. They have to do rituals to feed this. Goes against all of God and all God's teachings. At the end of all this, and the primary focus of this is it's a depopulation tactic. As much as they want to say it, 2 men and 2 women can't make babies. Don't work. They have to hire someone that was with a man or inseminated, IVF. You can say there's 85 million genders. There's only one way to make a baby, and that's between a male and a female. And I will scream that from the mountaintops for the rest of my life. You can do it unnaturally. You can adopt. You can do what you want. That's great. There's only, and that adopted child, which is amazing. My niece is adopted. And this IVF baby, which is awesome. There's still only one way to make them that came to pass, is a male and a female. They are trying to stop that. The United States of America and many other countries are now regressing in their population. There's actually a population crisis going on. This is what they wanted. The movement picked up with Obama coming into office. It was perfect. It was perfect. Everything, his color, everything. And why you see that he is pushed. He is the darling so hard in the media, in Hollywood, in our education system, you know, transgenderism, the military, businesses, associations. And he is beloved. He's the poster child for the deep state and the worldwide cabal. The Obamas are not who they claim to be. Their background is embedded in an intelligence operation, along with many others in high positions of power around the world. Candace Owens just did. That girl is out there. Let me tell you, that girl is out there. Whether I like her or not, I believe her or not, it doesn't even matter. She's out there, and I respect her for it. She said that Macron, the president of France, or the prime minister or president, someone can help me here. I think it is, Macron, right? That his wife, Brigitte, is a transgender. And not only is Brigitte a transgender, but she is Macron's father. Macron said he was in love with a school teacher that was older than him, and that's who she is. Can I prove that? No. Apparently she did some massive research. I didn't listen to it. I saw a clip. And Macron apparently is married to his father, who's a transgender. Is that out there? As far as you can get, really. Could it be true? Absolutely. There's not much I question if it could be true any longer. I just always like to verify. So that's why I said I did not verify it. That was from Candace Owens. You can go look it up. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah. Let's take a quick look at Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. Pretty sure everyone on earth now, people that are living even under rocks and behind trees and off the grid and anywhere else, and even those that live like this, probably understand at this point that Zelensky was installed by a globalist deep state coup to open the way for Ukraine to join NATO and plant United States nukes on the border of Russia. But Putin will not go along with people. Now, is he a choir boy? Oh, no, by no means. Because he won't go along with them doesn't mean he's good. Okay? He's got his own stuff. But they want to, because he won't go along with them, they want him gone. They also want to seize control of the incredible resource wealth of the Donbass and Kursk regions. So that's why they want to get in there. Now, Zelensky, understand, is a former actor that mostly played a transvestite. He was picked up by an oligarch named Kolomoisky, which funds the neo-Nazi Azov battalion and was blessed by Victoria Nuland. Now, who could say that? Did you hear? Delora didn't say that. That was said by Colonel Douglas McGregor. That's who said that. So for this off the cuff, we will call this Operation Zelensky. He was an actor for 10 years. Then they hired him to act as a leader of a nation with many puppet strings attached to him from the cabal players. President Trump just yesterday posted this. This is it. Verbatim. Quote, think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Zelensky, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, would never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization? In that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us. We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money we sent him is missing. He refuses to have elections, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something I'll admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died, and so it continues. President Donald Trump, the free speech president, tells Davos elite, I'm going to end with this, that the U.S. government will no longer participate in censorship operations against the American people. Watch this.
In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly.
There it is. Game over, folks. Okay? Game over. Too much has been revealed. The curtain's been pulled back. We'll never return to Oz. Ever. It's done. You got a question? I'm going to take a few. 3 question marks and the question, and I'll try to get to a couple, but I don't know how many. Let me see what we got here. Have you seen the interview with Melissa Rivers where she said Obama called her after her mother's death regarding the lawsuit Melissa filed against the clinic where her mom died? She dropped it. I did not see that, Mojo 007. Wow. Gilman 09, do you think DJT and company will curate the secrets and information revealed? I do. I'll tell you what I think, Gilman. What a great question. Thank you for asking it. I believe that it's going to be compartmentalized, Gilman. So what'll happen is there'll be intelligence. Then it'll be FBI agency, 3-letter agencies. Then it's going to be health. Then it's going to be compartmentalized. And everyone and their departments are going to reveal it's not going to be like a list and then Trump reads it off. It's not going to be like that. But as everybody, they're just getting in, guys. And I know it's hard to believe, but can you believe yesterday was 1 month, 4 weeks, Donald Trump has been in his second term in the United States of America. 4 weeks. He's just getting people in his cabinet. He's just doing it. When we come back next year at this time, this world will look completely different. Okay. Let's see. With them, Debbie, is it true that Obama's birth certificate was proven fake? A lot of people, that's coming back around now. I believe that was a leak from someone working with President Trump. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that everybody's posting it. There's a reason that that was put out there to post. That is everything you're seeing is actually from 2016. They did, a lot of people, one of the sheriffs proved it. They proved it forensically that yeah, that pretty much it is a fake. Yeah. I mean, everything I read, everything I've seen for the past 10 years, how one was overlapped on the other. If you take the paper up, you see the original was another, it was somebody else's name, all kinds of things. Curious Tadpole, do you think all people will be revealed or some kept hidden to protect us? Okay, great question. Thank you. This is what I believe is going to happen. People are going to be given a choice. The ones that are gone, like they're gone. They're just too far gone. They're too deep. They're part of what was happening. I think that will be revealed. But that's not a lot of people. Most of them, I believe, are going to be given a choice. Give me everything. If what you're telling me turns out to be something that aids us and really reveals and opens things up, we will not release that you either committed treason, sedition, all of those things that they could do. I believe they're going to give them a choice. If they want to keep their legacy intact, they're part of Congress, they've been in the FBI, the CIA, whatever. I believe, and that is the way to do it. The way to do it, look, and I've said this so many times before, the greatest detectives are those that have boots on the ground from the smaller drug guys, the smaller thieves, the smaller guys, and they lead them to the big one, because what you want to do is you want to get the root. If you don't get the root out, you're going to play whack-a-mole. He'll play whack-a-mole for the next 4 years. So it's very important that that's what they do. Aqua Girl, has Trump fired all Biden CIA hires? I don't know. I know many, but I don't know anyone that would know that except someone that is right next to him, I guess. Patriot 0115, I hope you read this out loud. I'm so tired of the hate on transgender people. Yes, some of them not truly trans or evil actors. My daughter knew at age 5 that she was born wrong. Okay, let me tell you something, Patriot 0115. I absolutely stand with you. Absolutely stand with you. I don't believe anyone deserves hate. No one. I believe especially the church has gone astray and not loved those that are uncomely or that are out and not. Believe me, if you knew my heart, and those that know me know I feel this way. The problem is, and this is what is the real sad thing, my friend, is that they take transgenders or transvestites and they make them the poster for trying to take children who are not and turn them into that. You understand? Reading library and reading all kinds of things that that children, a 4-year-old is not ready to hear. When people see that, the human condition has a tendency to whitewash it all, and that is the sad thing. And if they come into churches, most Christian churches, they're not welcome. It is so sad, and it breaks my heart, especially with a child that's born, I believe it's called hermaphrodite, where they're both male and female. That's the thing. What do you do? You can't throw these people away. No one should be thrown away. And that for that reason, I don't have 1 million followers. Patriot 0115, for that reason. XZYLA, do you think a lot of this has already happened, is being revealed to us slowly? I don't know. My friend. I think some of it has happened, but I don't think all of it. I think there's just too many evil people still existing. Peggy Day, why do you believe they started the war in Ukraine and why? I went over that, Peggy. There's a lot of resources there, and war is a very very rich business. People get very get rich off of war. That's why the CIA has been behind starting so many. But Ukraine did want to get into Russia. And you can understand Zelensky's a puppet. So Ukraine wanted to get into Russia for resources. Aqua Girl, what do you think Trump will do to prove Obama a phony? I think he's doing it. I think he's already doing it. Mimi Dan, still during the Super Bowl, President Trump support the Chief, but they lost. He showed support for the American hockey team. They lost. Do you think they're losing on purpose? Excuse me. Boy, people are going to get mad at me. My husband's going to get mad at me. I think most of this stuff is set up. You want to know why I say that? I don't know it for sure. But when you're working in Hollywood and people are paying for Academy Awards and Grammys and, they pay for those. They pay for them. That's why it makes me think sports. Why not? Why not? Do you know Mr. T's plans for freedom cities or transhumanisms? No, I don't, Camp Con. I don't think anything that's going to hurt this country or hurt people and their freedom, he'll never go along with ever. My mom, Charity, my mom died in 2021, riddled with cancer from her brain down to her liver. Do you think we will see justice for our loved ones who have passed? I sure hope so. I'm with you. I saw my sister pass way too young. Very hard for me. Yeah, I pray. Curious Tadpole, what's the real story with the $5,000 checks? Oh, thank you. Great question. And this will be my last one. The real story is that Elon Musk went to President Trump and said, we're going to end up saving hundreds of billions of dollars, like quickly. And understand Doge is around until July 4th of 2026, which is the 250th anniversary of the country. Then it goes away. So they're working quickly, trying to do as much as they can. Well, when he saw how much was being saved, he said he had a suggestion, and he said, how about a percentage of that? They're going to try to use it to pay down the debt. They're going to use it for other things, but a percentage of that goes back to the American people. So even though you're going to hear all extravagant figures a month and this and that, this is exactly what was said 2 days ago, or day before yesterday, I think 2 days ago. I've not heard anything different. $5,000 per household, not per American, not per person, per household of people that are 32 years old and up. Now, the reason they said 32, from what I understand, could be lower. They might have changed it, but they paid in enough. You paid in enough into income tax and stuff. They're trying to give people some of their money back. I believe, honestly, that will be the first one of several. I'm hoping many. There's no way things can happen where everybody gets all their money back all at once, because no one will work and and the whole country will fall apart. It's got to be done brilliantly. And with President Trump in the Oval Office, the man is beyond brilliant. Okay, that's it, guys. I can't do any more. There's so many questions. I hope you got something out of this. This was, I could probably do 10 of these because they are, there's so many operations. There's so many. It's just mind-boggling. You put operations of the CIA and even in Google, you're going to get like you can't believe. So remember tonight, it's called Prison Break. So you're going to want to see tonight. And that is on it right here on Rumble, 6 o'clock Eastern. And this will be posted on YouTube within about an hour and a half. Also, this tea, go to joincountry.com. USA, land of the free, home of common sense. I love this. When Jenna brought this over to me, I was like, yeah. Anyway, then there's the Grace Upon Grace stainless steel cross. It's a beautiful cross, got a very long, it can go longer, it can go shorter, has a long extension on it. And then the bracelet, this is one of our first. We get them in all the time. That is actually a cross engraved on that little guy. Comes in all colors. I got it in blue and I got it in white. This is the white one. These are stones. And then the last but not least, our tumblers, the new tumblers. Look at this. Protected. Psalm 91. These are stainless steel, solid stainless steel. These things are substantial, man. Used as a weapon. Those are stainless steel, very high end, all engraved. This is engraved stainless steel. Comes in all kinds of colors. This is God's Got This. Then they've got Gulf of America on one of them with the map. I mean, just amazing. You got to go see them. Laser engraved. Some of the bigger ones, it gets up there. They're hefty and full of all stainless steel. Takes up to 2-3 hours to engrave all of those things. So it is a special order. If you want it, you have to order it. And you can even pick the color you want and stuff. So it's really cool. Also, everything is in the description below. And we also have Saturday steals going on right now on the website. Starts today. You get 10% off your entire order, guys, until midnight tomorrow night. You got to use the code Saturday. Now you got to use the code Saturday. This discount even applies to all clearance. So just go to joincountry.com to get more info. And I will see you tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show. A lot of information and also a lot of fun. So be there. And until then, love you guys. Love you dearly. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for the support. Remember to always go in the power of God. Till tonight, guys. Ciao.